Anyway, it's a clean start for everybody, and it's a clean first couple of corners. Problems at the back there, and it's car 7 who's the big loser of Martin Wilfinger to go underway, and already it's a battle as we probably expected it would be between Mobers and Honegal. So Mobers in the white, Honegal in the multicoloured car with the kind of yellow look, and the yellow nose is the third place of Alexander Laurent in the Black Art chassis from France. So Germany, Austria, France, and Germany and Austria are just beginning to pull away. In fact, that was a good lap for Mobers. He's put a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a fishtail there as he put the power on a bit too early and spread out going through the maze. But now Honegal, who is a multiple European champion, and I think he's won this class 2 or 3 times. Mobers has won this in the Euros as well. Won 2 years ago at Scandinaria. I think Honegal won last year in his stock class. Mobers, of course, also won the Reedy Invitational race in January against a selection of the best drivers in the world. So they settle down. They're a minute in, and the gap is 0.28 of a second. And then less than a second back is Laurent Alexander. In fourth, it's Valanka. Then it's Payne, then it's Jewett, and Veza Ali has dropped back. So these two again, and just visibly, slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean slightly further ahead, is that slight advantage has disappeared in that lap at that point. But mistake for Laurent Alexander puts him back out, nicely out the way from Vanucco. And the level of pressure that both of these apply, and they're running lap times of 13.3, 13.5, which is very, very quick for stock. And Honegal just is sitting in the tyre tracks. If this was a wet race, he would have dry tyres because it's all been wiped away first by Mobers. Mobers in the white car, and Honegal now definitely closer. He's got it down to 0.165. Can't get much closer than that because you start getting affected by the lines the other driver takes. They aren't the same as you, and that's what's happened. Honegal's had to drop back very slightly in this one. The lead now moves up from 0.16 to 0.407. 3/10 lost there, but I think that's just because he almost fell into the back of Mobers. Number 9 car. Oh, that was really number. How did he not hit them? That was amazing. I've no idea how Torsten Müller did not hit everyone then. That was like they could not have done that if they tried to avoid people like that. They're very, very lucky there. Honegal made a big mistake and completely got away with it with only a loss of about half a second. And at the same time, Mobers underneath has just clipped the barrier as well. So the lead's gone up because Honegal, who made a big mistake and got away with it mostly. So Mobers was a 13.3, Honegal 14.1, lost 0.8 of a second, but that could have been a race-ending accident, or at least a race-winning ending accident. So now Honegal can prove us with a bit of clear air whether he can gain on Mobers. So this time round, first lap in clear air, 13.2, 13.3. The answer is no. They were the same foot distance apart. And the gap stays at 1 second. There's Mobers. Let's concentrate on Honegal for now because he's trying to catch up. So drop back 1 car. That's Honegal, who is closer again. I think he's closer than the second now. I think perhaps Mobers was slightly unsighted by the car they're lapping. And that lead will come down from 1 second to just 0.7. And they start another lap. They've been nailed together, these two. The elastic got a little bit stretched a couple of minutes ago after a minor mistake quite a big mistake, which had minor repercussions for Honegal. And now, as he's pushing hard to pick up on Mobers, a bit ponderous there around that corner again, loses a bit of space. But we are only halfway through this race, and the gap between first and second has just drifted back out to about a second again. So Honegal obviously pushing really, really hard. I don't know how far inside himself Mobers is, or he's just because he's metronomically laid down these laps. We've hardly seen really much of a mistake. And Honegal now within 0.8, and I'm thinking you can see him. And he's gained slightly this lap, I would say. Only slightly. Yeah, he gained 400ths of a second. And again, the traffic gets out of the way, and I think that actually that's slightly unsighted. Mobers makes a small mistake, and they're right together. And that tiny mistake, because you've only got 0.8 of a second, you make a quarter of a second mistake, and that's his together. And suddenly Honegal Rao can spell blood. Right behind him now. And this is where he just couldn't find a way around. Now, overtaking, especially in this class, is very, very hard, because they're very evenly matched. If they go down the straight, and if they were 4 feet apart at the start, they're 4 feet apart at the end. No one is having to handle excess power in this stock or spec class, but Honegal now right behind. And the gap is 12. We don't really mention the gap. Oh, it just ticked it again now. Can he get inside? He's going to take a 3 or 4 corner pass. And again, Mobers now has started to try and run defensive, and that's why he's hitting the barriers. He's got 2 minutes 40. And that was quite... They hit each other. Not quite sure what happened there, but he got away with it better than that, just that corner. So the gap is 0.8 of a second again. But it's come right down again. So definitely in clear air. Honegal can get very, very close to him. So Honegal now. Oh, right over time. So we've got down to 1 minute 49. Honegal's right back on after that coming together a second ago. Last time it was Mobers who slightly tightened up, and this is the first leg of the stock European Championships here in the Hoodie Arena with X-Ray, Montec and Zen Racing, and of course EFRA, but they are nailed together. They've been nailed together the entire race. And definitely Honegal now has more pace than Mobers, which may just be because Mobers' motor's getting a little bit hot and therefore is losing its ultimate performance. But now with 1 minute and 24 to go, they are together. It says 13 hundredths of a second, but the furthest they've been apart was 1.1 seconds. And now the issue is, how can Honegal get past? Makes a tiny little tick on the edge, not a problem. They've got 3 pits of traffic in front of them. Is that his chance? Can Honegal, the Austrian, use the traffic, or are they going to literally get the boys to park up and leave them out of the way? It's Jewett, in fact, who is running in 7th, who's ahead of them now, before Lee, who's in 6th. And that's it. So Jewett gets out of the way very well indeed. That was no harm, no foul. And again, Honegal so close, they go through the Zen Z. Then it's like they're stuck together on a tow rope when they go down the straight. They're exactly the same speed. So it's Illy now who in the black and orange car. Honegal lost a few tenths of a second, or a few hundredths of a second. Then, oh wait, it's in! Now he's going to wait. And we'll see that again at the end of the race. And he waited, but no, he's on his side! Oh, he's nipped inside there! Whoa, so he got back, and suddenly Honegal gets a tip to go. I don't know whether the concentration went for Mobers for the round of applause, but suddenly now, on the penultimate lap, Honegal gets round the inside. He waited for him after coming together, but just straight down the straight, he got past. Now Mobers now needs to do something with 11 seconds to go. And no, Honegal's got the ground speed, he's pulling away. So Honegal, they had it coming together, they waited, and for some reason Mobers, the following corner, made a minor error. And that minor error, unless he can do something on the last lap, is going to catch him. They're nailed together, having about 8 minutes. Can Mobers do something on the last lap? He won't get any closer down the straight. He's got to dive through, and it's Honegal who takes it after a masterclass of driving. Wow.